Do you think using the concept of anthropomorphics would be appropriate?
You know, I used to think so, but then again, I got a PhD from Dartmouth. Yes, we're all about the socio-political ramifications of anthropomorphics in modern culture, and people go, duh.
What I do is, I'll mention the term, and then I'll describe the term, and then relate to cartoons.
Exactly.
Put it all together, you know.
I usually
put two and two together.
do it the other way around. Just give them the one they understand first, before you hit them with the other one.
Okay.
Because if you give a person a term they don't understand, there's this little mental defense that goes up. It's like, wait a minute, I suddenly feel dumb. You know, I should know what this word means, and I don't. I feel dumb. I don't like this person. He makes me feel dumb.
Call it the kiss method.
Don't kiss them.
No,
Do
no. He just says
yes. Sorry about that. I thought you meant you should kiss them. No. Give them the cartoon animals, then say, or as we call them, anthropomorphics. And then you can throw it in. Or, since anthropomorphics is too much to say, we call them furries. Now you've told them what a furry is without putting any of those walls in place, without putting any of those preconceived notions in place. So now they're curious. They want to know more about it. What goes on at this convention? Not sex! Guys, yeah, it does. Come on, you're young, I know. But what is this thing that people seem to have, especially in this country, this obsession? I was on a radio interview with, what the hell was that woman's name? Kim Iverson, a couple of months ago. And that's all she wanted to talk about. I was live on the air trying to tell her about Anthrocon and the rich history of furries and the fact that furries are something that people have been dreaming about since eons before they even started to question what the little twinkly white lights in the sky are. We have always looked to animals for our imagination and our inspiration. We have shared the world around us and the world of our mind with animals since the dawn of time. Ms. Iverson kept wanting to know what it was like to have sex in a fursuit. And she kept asking and kept asking and kept asking. And eventually I said, Ms. Iverson, you seem to have a very unhealthy obsession with sex. Have you thought of talking to somebody about that? There was about a 3-second silence, and then, well, that was Dr. Samuel Conway with Anthrocon. Thank you very much for being on our program. I said, you're welcome. Now, can I do that? Yes. 2 reasons I can do that. One, I'm a comic. I've been a comic for more than 15 years. I've got training, I got experience in quick thinking and batting them back to people. That's what comedy's all about. 2, I have formal training with dealing with the media. I have taken classes, I have been tested, I have been grilled. I work in another life of mine outside of the furry world in emergency services. You must be an expert at dealing with the media if you're working in emergency services, because they do the same sorts of things in emergency services. They try to get you to say things. They will lead you into saying what they want to hear in the microphone. They will get you to blurt out something you did not necessarily want to blurt out. Let's see, you're from Massachusetts, right? Michigan. Why did you tell me that? I had no right to know that. That's a simple one. That's the oldest trick in the book. Make a wrong statement and they will suddenly correct it, unbidden. You know, they will come in and they will look at the storm damage around here and they will say, that was in F2, wasn't it? The guy will say, no, F3. You just gave it to him. See? Beware of that one. I was actually given a 2-week course in just that technique. It was called competitive intelligence. The final exam was they took me to a shopping mall. They said, pick a store. Go to the clerk at the register and find out his annual salary. And I did. And I felt filthy afterward. I hated that class, but boy did it teach me a lot. Because I get that from the media too. They'll ask me these leading questions, and I'll see them coming. And I'll see him coming from a mile off, and I'll be there going, okay, I can't wait till he gets here. It's kind of like playing baseball when you're at normal speed and everything else is slow motion. You're just waiting there to bat. Bam! Yeah, take that, Kim Iverson. Am I saying you should not talk to the media? You should talk to the media. But understand that you are putting yourself at tremendous risk. One, know who they are. ABC News, probably okay. The Man Show, probably not okay. If it's Stephen Colbert, you're sunk. Forget it. That is my personal nightmare. I am horrified of someday being interviewed by Stephen Colbert. Because I'll just sit down and say, Mr. Colbert, I'll tell you what, how about the same time I just say a string of stupid things and let's get it all over with at one time? Because here's what he'll do. He'll say, so what is it like having sex in a fursuit? And I'll say, well, sir, I need to point out that that kind of creates a lot of logistical problems. It can be 120 degrees inside that suit. They're heavy, they're bulky, they're cumbersome. It is not going to be the most comfortable and love-inspiring and passionate moments. I didn't say no, did I? And he'll say, oh, I can understand that. So you say it gets to be 120 degrees? I'll say, yes, absolutely. And he'll say, but it's July. It's Pittsburgh in July. What's it like when these people go outside? I say, well, I got to tell you, it's going to be hot. It's going to be the incredible hottest thing you've ever seen. Do you see where this is going? So what's it like having sex in a fursuit? Well, I got to tell you, it's hot. It's incredible. It's the hottest thing you've ever seen. I'll just say it anyway. He's gonna. There's a question. Yes.
I was going to say, when it does come to local media and things like that, it's probably better to at least be friendly and somewhat open rather than to say nothing at all and run away screaming, because that's like saying, I plead the fifth.
Exactly.
You sound guilty.
Let me tell you, the gentleman has raised an outstanding point. Thank you very much. In the world of the media, no means yes. No comment means yes. Yes means I did screw her. There is no. You cannot come out and deny something. There was a political race in the 19th century, and I cannot recall who it was. A politician was running against an incumbent and instructed his campaign manager, I want you to print a story in the newspaper that this man is known to have had sex with a 6-year-old girl. And the campaign manager looked at him in horror and said, we can't print that. There's no way we can show any evidence of that. And the politician said, we don't need to show evidence. We just need to get him to deny it. Don't they? And that's why politicians have that odd language of theirs, where they don't want to say yes and they don't want to say no, and they don't want to say no comment. They will ask you these questions. If you get defensive or shut the door, they'll see that door closed, and they will want to open it. They'll want to know, you're hiding something. Deflect it away. That's the easiest thing to do. For example, I gave one earlier. When Mr. Colbert says, what's it like having sex in a fursuit? I don't know. I've never been willing to try. I don't happen to enjoy heat prostration. If I'm going to die, I think I would rather die as something more heroic than sweating to death. May I point out that, most fursuiters can't make it across the hotel without stopping and getting a drink. Didn't say no, right? Yes, sir, again.
I was going to say, something the military taught me was a block and deflect.
Military man, I know it very good.
It's a thing where if they ask you a question you are uncomfortable with, you basically say, I don't know about this, here's what I do know, and you just completely switch the subject in a subtle way to get them on a different track.
Exactly. There was a firefight today. How many men were killed?
I don't know, sir, but I do know that we were victorious and that we will continue to winning. Yeah.
That sort of thing. Take two. So what's it like having sex in a fursuit?
I've never heard of that before. I can't tell you anything about that, but what I do know is we're having a large fursuit parade. There's going to be,
That's great. Learn from this man. Okay, how about this one? All right, let's turn the microphone off.
Okay. Off the record, you have had sex at first. I mean, okay, microphone's off, just between you and me. You have. I mean, let's face it. I know I would. Come on, you had just.
Again, what I told you officially is the
the
same thing I'm
microphone's
telling
off.
you.
Look. See, it's turned off. This is just you and me.
Again, I'm telling you the truth. I have no.
He's well trained. There is no off the record. This doesn't get turned off. Oh, it might.
This one's still on.
Of course.
There is no such thing as off the record. When you speak in any earshot of these people, anything you say can and will be used on the funny pages.
Actually,
And it will not be funny.
And it will not be funny.
actually, with the off-the-record things, this is usually the thing that ends up. So if you want to transport some message, tell them off the record. Tell them off the record what you want them to print or
Yep.
to say.
Off the record? Well, I was kind of curious about it, so I tried. Do you know what chafing means? I spent like 4 days in a Vaseline tub and didn't even get to first base. So if anybody asks you what it's like, tell them I don't recommend it. I mean, it might sound like fun, but when it gets down to like rubbing the skin off your groin, that's off the record. And they'll say, okay, that's kind of gross. I think I'll print that. Unless it's G4, they'll eat that up. Anytime you say groin to G4, that's it. You're on, isn't it? So what's your name? Groin! Oh, let's put you on camera. Come on, right here. Because I've seen people give the absolute wrong answer to that. Oh God, you saw that, didn't you? You have just confirmed every suspicion in their mind. When people ask about the CSI episode, I tend to burst out laughing. And I tell them that was the funniest damn thing we ever saw. Those were some of the worst fursuits you can imagine. If those people were to show up here, they would be completely laughed out of the con. And then they say, well, do those fur piles happen? I say, the term fur pile actually refers to something that is really quite innocent. It happens in the lobby. Basically, a bunch of furries just kind of lie down in the lobby and make like a living carpet of fur, and people take pictures, and it's silly. Again, I didn't say no. When that episode aired, I was working at an agrochemical company in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. And when I went into work, I knew what was coming. And I sat at my desk and I could hear my coworkers outside the doors. No, you ask. No, you ask. We're hospitals. I didn't even turn around. Yes. And I heard this voice. Sam? Yes, what is it? I'm busy. We were watching CSI last night. Is that the kind of thing that, is on a convention? And I spun around wearily in my chair and I said, all right, if that sort of thing was happening at my convention, number one, why don't I know about it? Number two, why am I not invited? And what the man said about deflect? That hit it out of the park.